Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show where, after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage. There, Jimmy. There, hey there.
the wreckage. And as a matter of fact, it's the first wreckage of 2025. I am your host, Jimmy T. That is my co-host, Jamie the Vet Williams. Vet and everybody else in the chat. Happy New Year once again. And how's it been? How you been, dude? What's been cracking? And boy, do we have a lot of wreckage to sift through today.
Oh, well, we shouldn't waste any time talking about how New Year's has been because it's the same as every other year. It's just several days, of nothing happening for me. I don't know about everybody else, but...
No, I know. I feel you, dude. I just stayed back. I did do I Like It Raw. Obviously, that's why I also stayed back. And, the King of 2024 brings up how he loves Netflix. I've got a bone to pick with Netflix, actually.
Okay.
And I want to say it right now, Vet, because first of all, I wanted to watch SmackDown, okay? Now, I didn't know this, but obviously it's not going to be on my cable provider anymore. Everything has jumped over to Netflix for me. From Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever, man. All the old shit and whatnot. Not WCW, but all the WWE stuff. But more importantly, now I didn't catch it live, okay, Vet? So I went
You're talking about SmackDown now, right?
SmackDown. And SmackDown's on Netflix in Australia, okay? Right? Not in the US, but in Australia it is. So it's live on Netflix here. And what do? I go to watch the replay, and there's no fucking replay. Like, there's no on demand. No. So I missed it live.
So what did you end up... Like, how long did it take before they put it up there?
Still not up there? Still not up. As of right now, it is still not fucking up. So I looked on Google. To see if Australia's the only place that's doing this and whatnot. And apparently, it's not. Apparently, all the overseas places, and even Canada, there's no SmackDown on demand. Now, I could have sworn, Vet, that they were going to do this shit on demand with all the shows. So I don't know what's going on right now. I still can't watch SmackDown. Someone help me out here. Why is that happening? I should be happy about Netflix, but I'm not.
This could be a purposeful tactic to encourage people to watch live. When it was on, like, say, for example, Hulu, right, would have Raw and SmackDown, and it would be like 3 weeks to a month behind because they wanted people to obviously watch it live, right? That's the whole idea. And, when it comes to sports, that's definitely the way to go. You watch it live. But people still don't consider pro wrestling sports. It's like, even though it is technically, like, in broadcast terms, like, even, how, like, the designation is, like, you have your blue for TV shows, green for movies, and purple for movies and green for sports.
Right.
Like, that's how it looks when you look at the grid, at least in the US. I don't know how it is around the world, but that's how we have it differentiated on, like, satellite and cable and stuff like that. So
same here, dude. Same thing here.
So I mean, they want you to watch it live, but obviously everybody can't, right? So this is going to be interesting to see going forward. Now, like, the stuff on Peacock, right? You would not be able to immediately watch it. Like, if there was a PLE, like, it would take, like, I want to say a few hours after it was done, because they need to, like, upload it, but with, like, all the ads and stuff placed in or whatever. Like, it has to, like, they have to upload the live feed, so it takes some time. But other than that, it's relatively immediate. So I don't know how this is going to work with Netflix, but I can see that being a problem for people like us who need to, recap it. Well, we're just going to have to go to the old faithful, right?
Yeah. And I was kind of excited, to be honest. I know it's not the official Netflix, beginning until obviously Monday night, but still I was kind of, excited about it. But thank you, Netflix, for, like, ruining my weekend. That's all I'm saying, because Jesus Christ, I was busy at 12 midday my time. You know what I mean? To watch it live. So yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully you get your shit together, Netflix, because I'm not digging that crap. That's not cool. It's just all 2024. And the thing that puzzles me, you know what's weird too for me? I could have sworn that my cable provider paid for a multi-year deal, like multiple years. And as far as soon as like recently, like a week or two ago, there was no sight of Foxtel, which is my cable provider, which is Fox, obviously, not getting rid of the WWE network on Foxtel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they did for whatever reason. As soon as the Netflix deal came up, bang, it was wiped, dude. Like you can't.
Apparently, January 1st was the quiet, the silent dissolution of all WWE Network. Interesting. Well, you know, it doesn't matter, Jimmy, because your country doesn't count. Everybody knows the only thing that matters are American cable ratings for wrestling. That's the only thing that matters. Nobody cares about the rest of the world. Nobody cares about the deals that all the wrestling companies are making with these other like international outlets and providers. No one cares about that. We only need to know how many watchers that we got on TNT for Dynamite this week to determine the entire worth of a company. So let's not hear about WWE and Australia, like cable Foxtail. What the Fox? The only thing on Foxtail is that thing that gets stuck in your shoes and socks and stuff when you go outside, right? Yeah.
Well, just quietly, now there's no reason for me to actually have my cable provider. Honestly, there really isn't.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Yeah, there's no
goodbye.
Reason.
Hello. Several $100s back in the pocket.
Yeah, it's expensive, dude. Still to this day, but anyway,
and that's Australian money.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you'd be living like a king right now, Vet, if you were to move here. But because you know it's about 70 cents. Your dollar is 70 cents Australian, dude. So I mean, it's not that much of a difference, but still, when you put a lot of money into it, it's a difference. But in saying that, I guess we should touch on the news. Vet, this is interesting. I wonder what you feel about this. But have you seen the photo of the new rumored Raw ring mat?
No.
Have you heard about this? All right, I'll get this.
No, but I saw I saw the SmackDown blue one.
It looks weird, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
A bit weird.
It's too blue, maybe. In saying that, it just doesn't look right.
A little bit.
It doesn't actually look right. Unless they had blue ropes, maybe it would look okay. But the white,
then it would be even more like, don't you think? Like a little bit too much blue?
Probably, more than likely.
Either way, I don't know about some of these designs that they've come up with lately. Have you noticed? It sounds like one of those like Andy Rooney, like 60 Minutes. Hey, do you guys ever notice how everything fucking sucks now? Like no one can design shit. Everything's just AI. These WWE belt designs are garbage. Their fucking set decoration is garbage. It's all like just the most like, you know, a bot would try to sell you this on, you know, on Twitter or something. Like
yeah. Fuck Twitter too, by the way.
Yeah. So I don't of all the things that WWE's doing, one thing I don't necessarily like is their cosmetics. It looks very kind of generic right now. So I would like to see a little bit more of a personal touch, and rather than just like, let's see what AI will give me, and then we'll just pick. You know, like that's kind of how it feels right now. But anyway, do you have a photo ready of the Raw rumored mat, or did you just hear about it, or what's the deal?
I do actually. As a matter of fact, let me share the screen because this is ridiculous, bro. I think, but they're trying to go the New Japan route. Put it that way. But I'll show you guys right now. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Share. Oh, wrong screen. Can you see that shit? Can you see this?
I can see that. Yeah, I can see it.
The mat. Can you see the mat?
No, this is still on the Bing search page.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. No. Hold on a minute. This stupid share screen crap. Wait 1 second. It's right here, dude. I'll show you now. But it looks ridiculous. It is literally ridiculous. But here it is. Now, do you see that?
It's loading.
It's loading?
Oh.
Shouldn't be loading. Is it load? Can you see it now?
Yeah, I see it.
Dude.
God. End of an era.
Really?
End of an era. I like the...
And black?
I mean, black is whatever, but just... I don't know.
Dude.
Always like that clean mat.
I just... me too, man. Actually, as a matter of fact, I want to say this. I'm actually on Vince's side when it comes to the clean look of WWE and not have all these sponsors all over the place. But now with the new, regime, they seem to be absolutely like changing things up, which is good in many respects. But that, I don't know. And what's happened to Prime? No more Prime in 2025?
I don't know. Maybe that deal is just for 2024. One-year deal.
Maybe, but
maybe he got pushed out by C4.
Actually, that's the new energy drink of WWE, just quietly. They saved themselves.
I mean, we could still go with Prime Hydration, like over, say, Gatorade or something. But I mean, look, the thing about it is, like, people talk about this, like, they say, oh, other promotions do this, boxing, MMA, New Japan, and TNA does it too. Like, they have shit all over their mat. But like, it's not about that. Of course you want to get the sponsors on there, but it's like, there are so many other places for sponsors on the WWE set. You've got those LED boards all around the ring. You've got the ring posts themselves that have LED light ups on it. You've got the aprons that have LED boards. You have so many places that you could put sponsorships. And the mat, like, that's where you want to do it? I don't know.
Well,
but and that's the thing. Like, so SmackDown just changed to their blue mat, but like, are they going to put? There were no sponsors on that one, was there? So are they going to do that now? Like, why only Netflix? I don't get it.
I have no idea, man, but we'll wait and see. I mean, that's the rumored mat as far as the dirt sheets are saying, obviously. They did have it on SmackDown for whatever reason before the show started. And I don't know why, but they just did. And then once the show did start, obviously we saw the blue mat. So we'll see. Maybe it won't be the case. I do see that being the case, though, Vet, for whatever reason. But we'll see what happens, man, come this Monday night. Either way, I don't like it. If it's black, they definitely need the red robes on black, in my opinion.
It looks like that. Hey, remember in
but in other news.
Oh God, Jimmy's so far behind, it's ridiculous. He's like 20 seconds behind. Hey, do you remember in WCW versus NWO when they had the NWO arena ring? Like with the black and the white. Absolutely. Like that's kind of what it looks like now. Like absolutely. That looks cool. But Raw's not the NWO. Raw's Raw. So I don't know about it, but oh well.
Yeah, it's weird.
And Labrat also says, can't wait for the product mascots Royal Rumble. That ain't a bad idea. Like, instead of having like 2 hours of these BS, like like the round table panel discussions or whatever, like leading up to the PLE, why don't you just, set aside 15-20 minutes for a quick goofy mascot Royal Rumble spot, You could even pre-tape it and just play it like on that,
Absolutely, but Revamp does bring up an interesting thing, because this is what I was going to go next. It's funny that you guys bring up Royal Rumble and Riyadh in the same sentence, because apparently in 2026, and expect this announcement to happen on Monday on Raw on Netflix, as of 2026, Vet, it seems that the Royal Rumble, and I'm not talking about the greatest Royal Rumble ever, or any gimmick.
Okay, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say I have a problem with this, and then everybody was think I was gonna get political, and then I was like, we already had the greatest Royal Rumble. How are you gonna downgrade to a regular Royal Rumble?
Well, get this. Apparently, as of 2026, the 2026 Royal Rumble will be coming to us live from Saudi Arabia. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't care, but that does bring an interesting question of like, okay, so now it's one thing. This is my thing. It's one thing if you have like, you have your Saudi shows, like we're doing, Crown Jewel, we're doing whatever that other one is, but in those ones, like there's women's matches and the women have like a dress code and whatever. Okay. But now we're doing a regularly scheduled PLE. I think it's time you kind of compromise back a little bit, because if you remember the first Saudi shows, those women were like, they were in like beekeeper outfits. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
At least with a t-shirt. Imagine a beekeeper with a t-shirt on, like a long, like, the t-shirt and panties look, except with a beekeeper outfit. So now they've now compromised over the years to where the women can show their figure. They just can't show the skin, right? Like but before you weren't even allowed to show the figure. We don't want to know that you have boobs and butts and stuff. Don't show it. Just be a cylinder. That was the deal. And then they relaxed on that. They don't have to wear the t-shirts anymore. They can't show all the skin, but now I think it's time to like make another compromise. Like if we're going to do the Royal Rumble in that country, the women should be able to get to dress how they want to dress within reason. Like don't do anything crazy, maybe if you have an outfit that has like your cheeks hanging out, maybe you can just make that one a little bit longer. Like, just something, but let's work and compromise. Cause now people are tuning in from all over the world to see the Royal Rumble. They're not going to want to see like, the long johns look. They want to see the women look like the women. So let's get with it here. It's time to get a little more progressive. Saudi Arabia's been getting progressive. Now it's time to take another step, I think. That's my opinion on it. That's really all I have to say about it. The rest, I don't give a shit.
You know what? Thanks to WWE, though, Vet, you do bring up an interesting point. They have become actually way more progressive, and I actually do think WWE is responsible for that. They've made a lot of changes for Saudi Arabia, thanks to WWE in many ways. So I respect them for that. So, we'll see what happens there, but that seems to be the case. Royal Rumble 2026 in Saudi Arabia, which I think sucks, but whatever, it is what it is. Also, Triple H says Raw run time on Netflix will be flexible, apparently. Now, I don't know what this figure means, but this is what he had to say. Triple H said it will be flexible. It will be flexible. I don't necessarily know the time constraints of television or cable television apply. It's slightly different platforms. Like many episodic shows, they have the ability to do whatever the show needs to have down. If this episode needs to be an hour, great, it's an hour. If the next episode needs to be 42 minutes, it's 42 minutes. It's what makes for the best product. I'm not saying we're going to be 42 minutes, but clearly we'll deliver the product in a way that is best for Netflix and their business model. Okay, wait.
And
best for our storytelling.
Stop, Jimmy. Just stop. Okay. First of all, your audio's terrible. Second of all, your internet's lagging behind. Third of all, this is all bullshit and we don't need to hear it. Any mark could have just thought that this is a possibility without having Triple H just mumbling over it for like 10 minutes or whatever on some ridiculous press conference. So we can just skip this story altogether. This is just this is dead air. We're not the AEW Speed Champions if we're going to keep doing, bullshit like this. We got to get to like real hard-hitting stories, not, Triple H mush-mouthing.
Okay, fair enough. Well, in AEW news, JoJo Offerman, who we know as Bray Wyatt's wife, as a matter of fact, or while he was around, was the ring announcer prior to AEW Collision actually starting. What does this mean, Vet? I have no idea, but does this mean we might see her in the future as the lead, ring announcer on Collision?
What do you mean before starting? Meaning she was the Ring of Honor announcer? Like what? That's that. Like
I guess dark matches.
Dark?
I have no idea.
They have dark matches on shows like where they have to tape all this stuff. That's weird. I didn't know that.
I've seen. Footage,
let's bring the YouTube show back.
Dark, true. Yeah, I mean, do you think she's gonna get a run?
Why not? It's gotta be depressing sitting around doing nothing.
I agree. That's true, man. In other news, did you? You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of excited to watch Wrestle Dynasty, Vet. I watched a little bit of it. I only watched the first match, the women's match, which seemed all right. I'm hearing good things about it, though, dude. Now, I haven't watched it all yet. Obviously, I only watched one match, and I'm assuming you haven't watched it either. But I'm hearing. Well, I don't know. Well, did you?
Well, no. But no, I because I had a little. Okay, so we'll talk about why later. But let's just say I had a little extra time, and I had enough time to look at the Kenny Omega match.
I wanted to watch that. I haven't watched it, but I heard it was great, right. Dude. That's what
let me just spoil it without spoiling it.
Go for it.
If you picture in your mind what these motherfuckers would do in a match, they did it.
Okay.
It's fucking. It's outrageous. Like it's like the kind of thing. It's like I can't believe that after all this time, everything, all the time you had off. All the stuff people have said on the internet, on podcasts, on everything. Everybody has an opinion on Kenny Omega, his style, the New Japan, wrestling in general, guys doing too much, guys being ridiculous, guys not understanding psychology. Like after you sat for 2 years or whatever it's been, having you listen to that, and then you go out there and you do exactly everything that you always do. Like you didn't learn a motherfucking thing this whole time. These guys were trading chair shots in the middle of the ring, right?
Really?
Yes. There's a pile of chairs in the ring. They're taking bumps on them. They're trading chair shots. And then, this is after the match has already been going on for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I wasn't counting. And then after they're done with trading the chair shots, like, you know how people trade forearms and no sell, and then they just keep throwing the forearms? They were doing that with chairs. And then they threw the chairs down and did it with forearms afterwards. Like, are you fucking shitting me? You fucking mark idiots. Who out there? Where's the artist? Where's the fucking hashtag the artist returns telling me Gabe Kidd, like I should be a fan of Gabe Kidd? No, fuck both these guys. They're so stupid. And guess what else, Jimmy? I'll spoil this for you. Nothing about the actual match itself, but let me spoil this part for you. The crowd was not into Kenny Omega. They booed his ass. Yeah. They booed him. Yes. Really? Over Gabe Kidd.
Wow.
The most cheese sandwich motherfucker ever to come out of England, and they're booing Kenny Omegas. They were not into Kenny Omega. So I don't know. I didn't watch any of the stuff like leading up to it, like any of the promotional interviews or any of that stuff. So I don't know if Kenny Omega was trying to steer him in that direction, but I kind of had the impression, I just guessed that he would have like a big, like the homecoming hero, but instead they were booing him. And they did not. Even when he was just doing something like setting up for a pile drive or something, people would just be like, "Boo!" Like they weren't having it. So that took me by surprise a little bit.
Well, I'm going to spoil one thing. You know what's ridiculous, Vet? As a matter of fact, the Young Bucks becoming once again the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
Oh, was that on the Wrestle Dynasty?
Unfortunately, it was.
Oh, okay.
Why did they give him those tag belts again? But whatever.
Because who the hell else was? Who was the champions anyway?
That's a good question. Who was the champion?
Nobody knows, so it doesn't matter, right?
I just saw the headline. That's all, man. So I didn't even click on it. I just saw it, and I'm like, damn. Everyone's loving your rant, that's for sure. Oh yeah,
everybody should always love me. I'm the best in the world. There's nobody that can come on the internet and do what I do live.
Everyone loves the beard too, bro. There was a lot of comments about the beard.
That's the crazy part. Who cares? It's just what do I always say, Jimmy? Like, I've said this for years. What wrestling doesn't need is another bald white guy with a beard, but here I am, and everybody loves it. So I guess I'm wrong.
It's the heel vet this time. It's Hollywood vet right now. But apparently, Labrat says Kenny had new entrance music. That could be one of the reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it was just some bullshit. No one cares.
Okay, well, that was the news, really, Vet. Everything else, I'm not going to say, is probably relevant to you, so I'm not going to bother getting into it. And I don't want to be here for an hour. But that was the hottest news of the week, and I think we can start sifting through that wreckage.
I did actually end up watching most of Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, you did? I haven't watched that yet either. The night before, I tried watching it. Because unfortunately, I'm not a member of New Japan World at the moment, so I try to watch it in different ways.
Neither am I.
Blame me? Oh, well, there you go. But the links I was using kind of sucked. But was it good? Is it worth me actually watching?
So my takeaway is this: I still love the company's production, but
sure.
it's just the talent they have right now.
Okay.
It's like you're getting the best possible set dressing for the worst possible, like, I don't want to watch any of these people, but damn, they look good out there, doing it, because nothing New Japan, there's nothing quite like it. The way they shoot wrestling,
man, I love it, man.
Their cameras are so, like, the cameras and the production they have, like, WWE has like a lot of gimmick production, where it's like tricks to let you make you, oh, look how cool this is, and it's like, a lot of smoke and mirrors, to use a Cody Rhodes.
The facade,
right? Right, and ultimately it's just a lot of colorful noise, but it's not really. That's not what makes it good. But like, New Japan has the way their cameramen and the people that direct the video feed, the way they shoot and the angles they shoot from and the coverage they get is second to none.
100%
like
agree.
It's the best. It's the best I've ever seen. The way they'll capture the perfect, like, facial expression, or like they'll get the right angle, or the way they'll, like, dude, the tightest thing they do is they fade like, when someone's like making an entrance, right? They'll show the entrance and they will fade in the person that's like standing in the ring waiting, so you see like the double shot of like the one guy making the entrance and the other guy watching. Like, dude, it's badass. Nobody does that kind of stuff.
And it fades, like you said, that was a good point. Like, it fades from the person in the middle of the ring looking at the entrance to the entrance. Yeah, that is pretty cool, man.
But that's ultimately my point. Like, it's great to look at, but I don't want to spend the time watching it because the people they have right now suck. So no, it's not worth watching, but if you just want to check out a couple things, go ahead.
I think I'm going to check out Wrestle Dynasty more so first. I mean, you just convinced me probably not to watch Wrestle Kingdom, because I'm not going to sit there for 5 hours, of just a whole bunch of bullshit. So, but you're right. Production wise, King of Sports, man, like the slogan is, it's truly the real deal, man. And I truly agree with you on that. One more thing before we do get into Dynamite. It is about Dynamite, but what the hell was that intro song, dude? I'm so excited. What the fuck?
Hey, a good, the way I look at it, in the a la carte mindset, I say, a good song's a good song. So I'll take it.
Fine song. Absolutely great song. But I'm sorry, it does not scream professional wrestling. I don't care
what on Dynamite does.
Well,
so
yeah.
That's my point. Like, I don't look at it as this is the theme song for Dynamite. I look at it as I get to hear a few seconds of this song before the show starts.
But what's bizarre, he got a lot of backlash, right? even from the AEW marktards, and Tony came out and said, no, we're still going to be using that song. Like, period. We're going to be using that moving forward. What's even more weird, it was Fight for the Fallen, vet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's just, sensitivity wise, it's a bit weird having a song like that for Fight for the Fallen, especially with what Fight for the Fallen actually stands for. You know what I'm saying? Which I find kind of odd and weird. So, but it is what it is. I'm excited.
Yeah, it is what it
is. You are too, vet.
I mean, I'm more. I personally, if I go Pointer Sisters myself, I like Automatic, but that's neither here nor there. What is here is Fight for the Fallen, like you said. It's Dynamite. It's Fight for the Fallen, and it's the debut on Max streaming. Now,
yeah, that's right.
I will give you a little bit of my experience because I tested it out.
Please tell me.
First of all, you can watch it right after. So take that, Netflix.
Pricks.
Yeah, you can watch it live and then it's ready right away. So, suck it, Netflix. You ain't no HBO Max, brothers. So yeah, you can check that out. Now here's the problem. Number one, trying to find anything on HBO Max is just ridiculous. Like, it's one of the worst streaming services as far as, like,
is it?
Their user interface is just like, you'll expect that, hey, something like this where it's like brand new, we just started doing this AEW thing. You think they might want to front page it, but no, you got to click over to the Bleacher Report tab and then it'll come up there. So then you could go from there. And then they also have, like, it separated, like, instead of having like an AEW page that you could go to, it'll have, like, Dynamite has its own thing, but then that was a different Dynamite than the old Dynamites because they put up some old Dynamites on there that you can watch, and then that's different though than the new one. So I had to go to a different page to find the current episode and not the other episode. And then Collision has its own page that you could watch on that. So it's like they didn't group it together very well currently. Maybe they'll fix that. But that was my experience with that. Now the other weird part about it is when you play it, all the spots where there'd be an ad break, they don't show you the picture-in-picture content the way those other international streams do. It will literally just play the commercials on HBO. Now you can fast forward, you could skip them. You can actually you could just look at the progress bar and track the bottom and then skip it, so you don't have to watch it. But it is weird that they left them in when you're clearly recording it and you have the international feed that just plays through with the commentary and everything.
Right. Exactly.
So it's weird they don't put that up, but whatever. That's how it is. So it does have commercials on the replays for anybody that's interested. I think that's just about covers my experience on Max. Collision, I assume, is the same. I was able to watch a little bit of Collision before work. That's why I had time to also after the show starts, you can go back and you could say watch from beginning if it's still going on. You don't have to jump in right where it is. So you can actually go back to the beginning and watch it while it's playing live. So that's it. I think that's everything. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I forgot, but if I did, I'll
well, going by the chat, apparently a few people had problems with Max and their bandwidth. Now, I know you've got super duper internet compared to everybody.
Yeah, my internet is out of this world, so most people can't compare. But
so I'm going to ask you this, and I'm assuming you didn't have this issue, but you obviously had no issue watching it on Max, right? Like in terms of quality and bandwidth.
No, but I didn't watch Dynamite live, so if they said it was like that, it might have been for me too. I don't know. I watched Dynamite after the fact when I got home from work, so it was already up and loaded for several hours, so I didn't have a problem with that. The Collision, I watched the match with Mark Briscoe, and we'll get to that. I watched that, and it wasn't live, but it was the show had already been, I think it was still going on. No, the show had already been done. So yeah, I haven't actually tried to watch it live yet, so I can't speak to that.
All right, because it's interesting. A few people did have a bit of bad experiences, but we'll see. It's funny. Speaking of Max, Max just debuted in Australia as of the 1st of January. So now that you tell me it's not worth actually getting, not that I was going to get it anyway, probably, but it's what is it a month? How much do you have to pay?
I don't know, but if anybody has Disney Plus, Hulu, or HBO, and you like only have one of those or two of those, you're insane if you don't get that bundle that takes all three of them and puts them together for $30. Because most of those are like almost more than half that on their own. Like if you want no ads. So if you want the no ad Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max bundle, that's $29.99 a month, American. Right. So that's like $10 each. But if you were to get like HBO by itself, I think it's like 17, 18 without ads. Damn. So why the hell wouldn't you want to just get the other two and throw it in there?
Right, that's interesting. Yeah, no, you're right. It's expensive here, dude. I'm paying for Netflix. It starts, for example, Netflix goes from $7.99,
right,
to $25 with the premium 4K no ads. I'm paying $25 a month. It used to be $15 a month, but now they've bumped it up since WWE's actually on there. So thank you once again, Netflix. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, and also before we finally get into Dynamite, because I'm also seeing the comments like Todd Brantley and everything saying Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty are two separate shows. It doesn't matter what you call it. I mean, Wrestle Kingdom was 2 nights. You called it night 1 and night 2. It's essentially the same thing. But Wrestle Dynasty is like the AEW booked version. It's like if New Japan got to put on AEW's booking. So that's basically it. But they also would have like New Year's Dash, like it would be like the show at Korakuen Hall the next night, and stuff like that. So it's really just the same. It's kind of just the same thing. It's not really
the same. I don't look at it as different shows at all.
Yeah, but you could call anything. You could call things whatever you want. You could. It's whatever. They could call WrestleMania Night 2 WrestleMania Dynasty. It's still WrestleMania Night 2, whatever you want to call it. All right, Dynamite again. We're on Dynamite now. Yes. We're seeing Okada. He's walking. Then they tell you what's going to be on the show tonight, and then we get a cinematic promo from Moxley that apparently was on the pay-per-view or something. That's what they said.
Oh yeah, it was. I remember
right.
Now.
So he used the phrase impeachable character in reference to somebody. I don't remember, but I think he meant unimpeachable. So he's still got to learn some of the English language before he tries to sound smart. So he cuts that promo, and then that was from the pay-per-view, but here on Dynamite, rated FTR answer his promo with some who cares. It's Edge and FTR. Nobody wants to hear them talk about anything. So we're starting the show with yeah. Oh yeah. Let me yeah. Okay, can I just say?
Yes.
Is that not the most apropos name ever?
Yes.
Cope.
Yeah.
As in this is our relation to us having to watch him. Mm-hmm. Like this is that's in reference to us. His name is us. We are Cope. We are coping.
Yep. Spot on, bro. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. I don't like it. The rated R Cope, whatever the fuck. The rated R Superstar Cope just doesn't have a ring to it either, man. And didn't someone say Cope and dope on the show?
Yeah. Anybody in the chat got anything to say? You think I don't see this shit? I don't come here to get heckled. You can fuck off and go back to Corey Graves if you want. Orange Cassidy versus Hangman Page. He hits a buckshot lariat. And then after the match is over, he continues beating up Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, dude, this match, I fell asleep during this match. For a good 5 minutes of this match, I woke up again, still going. Was it just me, or did this match just go for way too long, bro?
I guess. Well, my question is this: if the finish is, I'm going to beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy after the match, after I beat him, then why do you get a clean finish on Orange Cassidy? Why don't you just have the referee disqualify him for not breaking on 5 or for breaking the rules? Or like, if the story is like that Hangman Page is out of control, why do you have to beat Orange Cassidy to get that story over?
It's going to go nowhere too, Vet. That's another thing. Yeah, I don't know why. Because of AEW, that's why. I mean, what can you say?
Thank you, Todd Brantley.
Yeah,
because AEW.
Exactly.
Well, that's all I say. Well, yeah, and Chris Daniels came out and got a beating too. Christopher Daniels.
What are they doing with this? Why are they moving to a friggin' Fallen Angel Hangman Adam Page feud, which feels like they actually are? Again, I said this last week, I'm gonna say it now.
Can't wait.
Yeah. I don't want to see Christopher Daniels in the ring in 2025 again. Please. Enough.
Nope. I'm gonna do it.
Look at me.
Jay White promo. I mean, nothing much.
A little, was it just me, or did he seem a little like meh about it?
I mean, well, yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? He wasn't putting that much effort into it for me. Not that it's his fault. I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. He seems a little bit unhappy about certain things, I feel, with the way his delivery is.
He might be, but he's such a worker. I can't tell if he's doing it on purpose or.
That's true too. So I don't know. But he's supposed
to. That's what makes it exciting. If you're not sure, then somebody's doing their job. Speaking of doing their job, the Acclaimed are out for a tag team match, but they show an insert, like a 2-box, if you want to use the terminology, of them arguing while they're on their way to the ring. Oh. And what I like about this thing that they showed is Max Caster says the same thing that I always say. Because when Bowens comes up and says like, hey, why you doing this or whatever, and then Max goes, why, like, why'd you wait till now to bring this up?
Yeah.
Like, we're doing a promo now, and you want to bring up this shit. It's like, you had all week to talk to me, and you're bringing it up now. Like, isn't that what I always say about like people who are arguing, like their partners arguing and stuff? But
at least he's in tune. I'll give him that. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Caster for saying that, because hardly anyone does. So credit to him for that. Right.
Yeah, he said a couple of things here that made it sound like he's a fan of the show. But anyways,
I know it's weird, bro.
Yeah. So this is actually, if you remember, this is actually a tag team match. It's the Acclaim versus the Hurt Syndicate.
Oh boy.
With MVP on commentary. And in this match, Max Caster gets murdered, and Anthony Bowens just kind of looks on like, well, I guess I'm not going to help you. You're my partner, but I guess you can get murdered.
Could he be the one that actually turns heel really in this little bullshit that's going on? Because he's doing the heelish thing, I don't want to be tagged in. I was about to walk away. You know what I mean? And I get it. He's he's disgruntled because of Max being all delusional and whatnot. But
that's a good question, Jimmy.
Could it be that, they're going to fool us? They're going to swerve us. He's an AEW swerve, bro.
It's a good question. It's just that the answer is not going to be good. Like, whatever the answer is. Because, like, obviously, Max Caster is a born heel, right?
Yeah.
But don't we know that the way to turn babyface in 2025 is
to be a fucking heel? So
right. So that's not going to work. But then Bowens, like, if he turns, who wants to see that? Who wants to see Anthony Bowens be a heel, and then what? Max Caster, like, still a dick, but now he's getting like he's cheered. Like, it doesn't make sense if you do it that way.
It doesn't.
But I also don't care to cheer for Anthony Bowens necessarily, because he's kind of like a little bit bland. He's like a good pro wrestler, but that's it. He kind of, just, not really anything amazing. Just they kind of work together as a team because Max Caster's providing a lot of the entertainment.
The same bitches. That's not.
Zay says, you want to boo the gay guy. But no, I don't necessarily want to boo him, but I don't want to cheer him either. Like, he's very, to use my phraseology, a cheese sandwich to me. Like, the only thing I know about him is that he's gay, and what does that matter in wrestling? Are we gonna do a love angle now?
Oh, no. I mean, you could bring Chuck. I've always said bring Billy and Chuck back, like for this with the acclaim.
But we already, no, nobody wants that. Nobody has ever asked for more Chuck Palumbo until this started happening, and I still think people are only doing it out of reflex. They don't really want him there. Anyways,
that's true. You're right.
Anyways, Alex Marvez is with Swerve and Nana. They do a little promo. Did Nana get his coffee over? I think he did, right? Or no?
I don't recall that. No, I don't think he did. As far as I remember. But some guy in the background was going, whose house? And everyone was going Swerve's house throughout this promo. So cool.
Yeah, it was short. And now we got this match. Now we had a lot of build to this match, Jimmy. It's Jamie Hayter versus Dark Julia.
Oof.
And not the good Julia from NXT, who's light. She's not dark. She's light. Look at her. She's beautiful madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is the other Julia. It's the basic bitch Julia.
Can I ask, is she still part of House of Black? What's happening with that?
Well, she's not part of it, Jimmy.
She's not part of it? That's a good question. That's a good point.
They haven't disavowed her. They're just not here.
Well, she did get misty, shall I say, in this matchup.
Misty. Okay, let's go straight to that because no one wants to talk about this match. She literally pulls an arrow out. Like, I'm going to stab you with this arrow. And then Aubrey's like, hey, you can't stab somebody with an arrow in a pro wrestling match. And she takes it away. And Julia's like, okay, fair enough. You're right. Can't stab somebody with an arrow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and then Hayter gets misted and beat.
Can we say RIP to Hayter now? She is nothing like her first run in AEW now. She's just passe. Tony's sick to death of this toy. He wants a new toy to play with, and it definitely ain't Carrot Top, Hayter. I mean, come on. At least her zits weren't as bad this time, though. It seemed.
Hey, good. Maybe she got some of that good medicine,
Maybe.
Maybe she got some of that stuff that Shota Umino is taking because his shit cleared up too.
Okay. Interesting.
Maybe she traded some tips with him. But yeah, so like you said, like this whole thing was about, this match was kind of built, and this was sort of the return of Julia because she's been injured for such a while. Right. Yep. And even I think she came back from injury, but then just was not around. So I don't know if she got injured again or whatever. But I get the sense that Jamie Hayter's less and less important to the company. Dumb, I think part of that is because they're just not sure what to do right now.
Well, if you saw her, if you were TK, honestly, right, she came back looking the way she does, would you be sure on what to do with her? Because I wouldn't be.
Well,
I just like, what the hell? Like,
I would be sure, but I'd be surer than they are because I would have told her, don't start dressing like Austin Powers' couch and don't fucking color your hair like a carrot. I would tell her not to do those things for sure. Like, I don't like it. I would say, I don't like it and I'm paying you not to do that. But, at the very least. So I don't know.
She was so much better beforehand, man. Way better. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of hers, but still she was tolerable compared to now. Anyway, we'll see what happens with her. Maybe she'll join House of Black. Maybe we're going to get a dark Hayter.
Dark. And that's another thing. Revamp says this point. Jamie Hayter, the Tony Khan version of Becky Lynch in AEW, right? Now, whether that's true or not, that's a bad idea, but we've seen that. Remember when Fatlander was supposed to be the Rhea Ripley of AEW? Like, don't try to be the something of something else. Everybody be the you of you. That's 100%. The thing. if I could give one universal piece of advice to every pro wrestler out there, it's try to do the thing that the least amount of people are doing.
Yeah, not the same thing.
Right. Try to think of something cool. Spend all your time in the gym, spend all your time in the car, spend all your time in the shower, spend all your time, anytime you have free time, spend that time thinking of things to do that nobody else is doing that would be cool for you to do. Not things that you can't do, that you're going to try to do, but like, think of things that you can do and that you're good at and how you can incorporate that. How can you be different? How can you be unique? Or it could be something that somebody did, but a long time ago that nobody's doing now. Just always think of those things. Don't look at somebody current and then think you're going to be the Temu version of it. It's just,
literally.
Yeah. Because even if you are trying to be the Becky Lynch, you can't. Becky Lynch is already Becky Lynch, and no one's going to mistake you for Becky Lynch. No one's going to be tricked by you being Becky Lynch, okay? So,
Jesus.
It's my
so
advice.
True, man.
Yep. That's right. The showers ain't vicious. The shower. You got to sit there. You got to shampoo that. You got to shampoo that hair, Like, it takes a while. You have time to think.
Got plenty of time.
All right, so they do some packages, some video packages. They show Omega coming next week. He'll be there. Although after this match, I don't know. This match he had at Wrestle Dynasty, I don't know if he's gonna make it. But anyway, then after the Omega package, they show an Okada package where he says, "Stay out of my business, bitch," which is another excellent promo. Yeah. And speaking of excellent promos, the CEO comes out. And guess what she does? She says, "Hey, everybody, let's watch another package." And then they play a package.
Actually, that same CEO, you can call her a triple champ right now, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you believe that shit?
What's your name, fella? Triple champ.
I love that. What's your name, fella? Triple H. That always makes me laugh. But in this case, triple champ, 100%, man. They all love her, dude. They're all pushing her to the moon. She's either a great freaking politician, right? Like, knows how to play the game really well, or let's be honest, I mean, she's head and shoulders above everybody right now, especially in AEW. I hate to say it, but she is.
Yeah, with no effort. All she has to do is show up, and she's better than everybody. But that's part of the cash you get coming just from WWE, right?
Right.
So
definitely. But
even if she didn't have to make no effort. It's not that I don't think she's making an effort. It's just that she doesn't have to, and they're not really making an effort because just like her, just like Jamie Hayter, just like every woman on this roster, it seems like they don't know what to do. They don't know how to make this interesting. A lot of people have shit on Mercedes since she's been there. Some of it may have been justified, some of it not. I have not been one of the ones that shit on her, but I will say that having her come out and make an entrance just to pitch to another package after we sat through 2 packages is kind of fucking weird. Don't you think?
It's funny though. I mean, come on.
It is funny.
She knew what she was doing by doing that. The way she said it too, man. 100%.
Yeah, well, especially the rule of threes in comedy. It's very funny that the third time, it's like, oh my God, here's another. She should have mentioned it. I think that would have put it over the top. She's like, I know you guys just saw Kenny and Okada's packages. Pause. But here comes another one. Now you can see my package. Like, that would have been funny. But anyway.
It's funny. Todd brings up Camille. I forgot about her already. Maybe now I think the rumors are pretty much true, man. We haven't seen nothing about her. Yeah. Nothing's happened.
Camille ain't, she ain't gonna suffer these fools gladly.
Good for her, man.
All right, so then we see another video. It's about the relief effort for the reason we're doing Fight for the Fallen, Hurricane Helene, all the proceeds going to help those victims and everything like that.
It was this.
Huh?
Did you notice the hugs were really awkward, bro?
Well, I mean, we had Hollywood Axe and handing out the big novelty checks to people, like.
Ugh. Cringe, bro. This is cringe because he looked so uncomfortable for whatever reason. And the way he was hugging everyone, it was like he's waiting and they're like waiting for him to sort of hug. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? I just said, this looks weird. They shouldn't have even showed that. They should have edited it better, to be honest. I mean, shit.
They should have done still photos, just him with the check.
Yeah. And
a montage.
A montage, much better. But on top of that, it should have also been done maybe in the ring. If you're going to do like a Fight for the Fallen thing, at least present it in the ring to justify why this Dynamite is called Fight for the Fallen. Because it felt like nothing. And we're getting more gimmick Dynamites in the future, bro, which is another bizarre thing. It's not ending.
It never has. We've always had Dynamites. Hey, I love it. Just keep gimmicking it up. All right. Marvez is with the Undisputed Kingdom.
This was awkward too.
Move
bro.
on. Everything about this shit is awkward.
I hate how Roderick Strong now is like your typical old school Roderick Strong goofball, bro.
Yeah, well, he's got a shot though. He's got a shot to be the number one contender. So he's got to have this match first though. It's Roderick Strong versus Switchblade versus Swerve Blade, and then we hit Switchblade hits the Blade Runner to Roderick Strong for the win, but then we see Ricochet. Well, actually, we don't then see Ricochet. We see Ricochet earlier, and he basically comes out to pick the bones of Swerve Strickland, or actually, should I say, cut the bones, because he's got a pair of gold scissors. And Excalibur's like, he's got a pair of gold scissors. Or was it Tony? Gold? One of those dudes said that. I don't know. I don't know why gold. I don't know what the significance of scissors is, other than, I mean, somebody cut off one of his dreads before, but other than that, yeah. Remember, somebody in the chat knows who cut off Swerve's dread.
It's probably Hangman. Dude.
Was it Hangman? But I feel like it was somebody that wasn't Hangman. I don't know.
Yeah, someone will tell us.
Yeah, someone will tell us. But the point is, they do this weird thing where Swerve gets stabbed in the head with scissors by Ricochet, right?
Where's the cops at?
And well, yeah, exactly. So not only that, it was Hangman. Okay, well, it makes sense that it's Hangman, but like, here's the thing. Not only everything you said, you're thinking like, well, police, security, other wrestlers, some agents, other referees, right? So
none of that.
As Swerve is, they're getting this cinematic camera shot. This is the kind of like WWE soap opera shit like they do with like the Bloodline, right? Pun intended, kind of. So Swerve's like in the frame, like crawling towards the camera, like bleeding out of his face, and they show Ricochet's like stalking him, right, with this pair of scissors in his hand. And over on the side of the screen, you can see Rick Knox just casually chatting with Nana, like there's not a man trying to murder another man with scissors, and Rick Knox is just over there like, hey, I don't know if you know this, but Ricochet's trying to kill your boy with some scissors over there. I'm not gonna do anything about it because I'm fucking useless, but maybe you could talk to him. So Nana goes over there and he's like, hey, don't kill Swerve, and then Ricochet points the scissors at him like, back the fuck off, and he's like, you right, and he doesn't try to get involved with this psychopath, and
but
so anyway, basically we're seeing a literal stalking, and nobody cares because it's not in the script to care. It's nobody needs to help Swerve, right? And fair enough. Like, this is a man that broke into a house and terrorized a baby. Well, he didn't really terrorize a baby. He gave it a free t-shirt, but still, like, everybody remembers it as like some traumatic thing that he did. But I'm just like, as cool as it was nice to see Ricochet, like what Ricochet did, the way he did it,
it was good.
Other than the fact that it's completely stupid. If this were a movie where they were alone somewhere, then yes, it was good. Well. Like he had a different side of him that I bet people probably didn't think he had in him or whatever. and this is probably what he was talking about when he says like they're not letting me do what I want. Maybe he wasn't talking about flips. Maybe he was talking about stuff like this.
Maybe.
But like I said, it's the overall picture of it. And again, the Death Riders are doing stuff like this all of the time. So Ricochet is just another guy that's that's doing it. That's not. It's everybody's doing the same things. It's weird. I don't like it.
Unless there's a swerve, and I highly doubt it because, again, AEW don't think that deep. But could it be part of the Death Riders all along? I think that would suck personally, but could he be part of the Death Riders and it's all part of the game?
It would be interesting to see that. Somehow, I don't think that it will.
No, it's not going to happen.
But why wouldn't it? Like, like if you're thinking about whatever Moxley's doing,
doesn't make sense, right?
Eventually, logically, and this is why everything I'm about to say doesn't matter because it's based on logic, but logically, if you're going to war with an entire wrestling company, right? Already doesn't make sense. But if you're going to do it, eventually you're going to realize, hey, wait a minute, we're completely outnumbered no matter how many kidnappings we do. Like there's still like 200 people in this fucking place and it's 5 of us. So everybody should just be kicking the Death Riders' ass all of the time.
Should be, but...
right. So you would think you would want to recruit more people to tip the balance, right?
Right. Or is he part of the Hurt Syndicate still? We don't know what's going on with that. But like Bruce says, he says if done right, Ricochet can become the biggest heel in AEW. I actually agree with that. He can be the biggest heel in AEW.
Yeah, but then what's going to happen?
Well, that's a good question.
He's going to become the biggest babyface.
Right. Because he's
right? Because how do you get over as a babyface?
But I like it. See, you just said it, but I do. I like this side of him.
Now you like it. And now he's a babyface kind of in your mind. Like, to you.
Getting booed? Was he really getting booed this time? He wasn't. He actually wasn't.
Not as much as he was, like,
No, that's what's weird, dude, because the week before, he was getting booed out of the building. This week, it didn't feel that way.
Yeah. All right, well, anyway, enough of that. Because even though a man was just, we all just saw a man almost murdered and, nobody stopped it. And then, and everybody filmed it. But it's now we got to go to Alex Marvez with Jeff Jarrett and the guys. That's more important right now. Don't worry about Swerve. He'll be fine. It's just a little blood, just a little scissors. It's nothing lethal. We got Jay Lethal. We need to talk about Jay Lethal, not a lethal stabbing.
Right. But see how backwards this company is? They go from that to that. Like it's just weird.
Right. This could be a show ender. This would
be like,
dude, we have to go off the air now because we don't know how to follow the fact of a man getting stabbed in the head with scissors. Oh, I know how to follow it. Jeff Jarrett's going to do something. We don't know what, but he's going to do something. He's talking very, very vaguely and cryptically, and his wife is there telling him if she's got his back. So, God, what could this possibly be? Yeah, don't worry about that just yet. First, we got to squeeze in a Mariah May promo. Okay, we'll get that in there. Then Jeff Jarrett can come out in the ring. He can bring his boots to the ring. He can say all this stuff about, his career and all this everything and lead us to believe that,
DNA.
Yeah. He says, is the last outlaw going to ride off in the sunset? Hell no. I want to be the champ. Yeah. Which then why didn't you just leave your boots in the back then? Because
I don't know, why did he bring the boots out if he's not retiring? For crying out loud.
you knew for sure you weren't going to retire, so you brought the boots out for what? Just to swerve us. Yeah. Yeah. The swerveling. Never mind. I'm not going to. We've already been.
It's AEW, bro. Swerve.
Yeah, you guys already know everything I'm about to say before I say it, so I'll just save everybody the time. So he wants to be the champ. Put me in the gauntlet, pal. Yeah, fuck a 3-way. Swerve just took scissors to the head trying to get a shot at the AEW championship, but Jeff Jarrett can walk in with his boots and drop him on the mat and immediately get put in a gauntlet match. He doesn't have to qualify for it like like these guys did, and like Swerve almost died doing. Who cares? Just put me in. Swerve should have just went out there and said, "Hey, put me in. My house got burnt down. Put me in the gauntlet." But instead, he wrestled a match honorably, and then Ricochet came out of nowhere and stabbed him in the head. Poor guy.
Poor guy.
He should have just done this is why Jeff Jarrett's a better worker, because he knows all this shit. He knows the tricks. He knows that if you want to avoid getting stabbed in the head with scissors, all you got to do is go out and fake retire.
That's it. That's all you got to do, man. Ask Mark Henry too. Same thing. He got a shot for a world championship from acting like he's retiring.
Yep. That's politics.
Politics.
Yeah. Swerve Scissorland. That's his new name.
Swerveland.
Scissorland.
I mean, Scissorland.
Swerve Scissorland.
I like it.
All right. Then Hook is on the stoop and he challenges Christian.
In New York City. Typical stoop. Yep.
Stoop. Brooklyn. It's got a brownstone there.
Are we going backwards again, Vet?
No. No, we're perfect. Everything's perfect. Speaking of going, but this is where we go backwards. Hobbs. Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Gets a match against John Cruz and Rob Killjoy.
Rob Killjoy.
I mean, you saw his physique, right? That you understand why he's named that.
Like
we thought we were watching a wrestling program, and then this guy took his shirt off. But anyway, so Powerhouse Hobbs loses at the pay-per-view to Takeshita, who now, whatever, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? There's no point in talking about it because they made us not give a fuck about Hobbs now. Why should we care?
So now, so Hobbs is like, okay, so how do we rehab Hobbs? Oh, we'll just have him beat two job guys. No, this is how you debut Hobbs. Hobbs has been here for years.
Yeah.
It's too late to go back to this now. Whoops. So, whatever. Then the tree branches meet the FTR tards, and then speaking of him, like, unfortunately, this week we lost Sweet Daddy Siki at the age of 90 something. They show a little memorial for him. It's his fault that we have to watch Cope now. So I don't, it's that tempers my sadness a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. All due respect to Sweet Daddy Siki.
R.I.P. man, but he lived his life and a good life, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then we show MJF from. This was also supposedly from the pay-per-view, post pay-per-view.
Why do they show it now? But
just because. But in true MJF fashion, see, he is thinking about what would people do, and so he addresses Moxley, and he's like, I don't care what you think you're doing. That's my title, and I'm coming for it, basically. So he's like the only person that cares about actually, like
title.
Yeah, and also not a bunch of bullshit, like,
just
to get caught up with. Yeah, he only cares about the one thing, and everybody kind of should at this point. I think you would think that everybody would be laser focused on Moxley, not only because of the title, but just because he's giving everybody a hard time.
Right, you think. Even the Hurt Business should freaking get involved in many ways, but again,
but
I don't know what's going on with this company, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So we got the Riders versus the Edges.
The Riders versus the Edges. I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't. No, again, nobody just no. I don't know. Does anybody want to? I don't know. Nobody wants to see this. Do they? I don't know. I don't want to speak for everybody. Do y'all want to see it?
I didn't, but I had to get smacked twice with these idiots just quietly. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Well, the important thing is that Jay White comes in and he hits the Blade Runner on Yuta while Cope is on the outside trying to get injured again. Like, he was up on the announce table trying to suplex somebody and all kinds of ridiculous, unnecessary stuff that is way too much for a 6-man tag. But Mox goes through the barricade, and then what happens here? Oh, and then they hit the the FTR hits the shatter, even though he already got the Blade Runner, they scrape him off the mat with a spatula, hit the shatter machine on him and a spear.
Oof.
You know, a lot of respect to Wheeler Yuta there. Like, they probably could have just pinned him after the Blade Runner, but they end up hitting 2 more finishes on Wheeler Yuta. And that ends the show on a happy note.
Oh, yeah. So happy that we get it twice pretty much on the next show. We'll get it again. The same 3 in the main event. But anyway, we'll get there, unfortunately.
Well, let's just get there.
Let's just go there right now.
It's Collision. It's time to collide.
Wait a minute. It is time to collide, but are we going back to the future now, Vet? What the hell is going on with the start of this show, bro? First of all, we're getting those Saturday night main event-esque promos again, which I love. I actually like that. 2, Elton John is back.
Guess he's back. I guess they re-upped the I guess Elton John signed a new media rights deal.
How stupid does this make the company look though, bro? Like, does it not?
Nobody's looking, so it not at all. Not at all. Nobody's watching, so nobody noticed. It's great.
Well, I did, and I'm thinking these guys are weird, dude. You say you couldn't afford. What was stopping you from paying for the rights before that? For the last friggin' 10 weeks that you didn't have the song, or if not longer, and now you just decide, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna pay it because I feel like it.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know.
And then go back to the initial, way of doing the show too. Like, let's go back to the future. Let's start. It's like let's reset again with Collision.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we get those Saturday night's main event style promos from Mark Briscoe. Beautiful. Hey, Daniel Garcia.
Even I still didn't mind it.
Yeah, it was fine because it was limited. It was just
right.
These style promos are meant to be like 30 seconds. Give you the best, and 30 seconds of Daniel Garcia is just about enough. Unfortunately, then we have the match, and then there's much more Daniel Garcia, including, as much as I love Mark Briscoe, so I was happy to see the match, even though it was Daniel Garcia, and it was on first and not in the main event. So that's another main event that Daniel Garcia doesn't get, which is also good. But that goddamn jackknife pin again. This is becoming his finisher. The scoop the legs, flip over jackknife pin where anybody could just easily get their shoulder up and they don't. I'm getting tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Are they trying to tell that he's fluky winning these matches? Is that what's happening?
I don't know if 3, 4, 5 times is a fluke anymore. I think that's just his finisher now.
But if you notice, it's against guys that he shouldn't really be winning against, if that makes sense. He's been doing that.
Right. But I mean, and the weird thing about this one was they did it as the time was running out for the match. The time limit was running out, the 20-minute time limit or whatever it is, 15, 20, whichever one it is. It was running out in the match, so they could have had an out where it was like a draw.
Right. Yeah.
And rather than having Mark Briscoe trying to beat Daniel Garcia and Daniel Garcia continue to kick out or escape or whatever to get himself over like as resilient, as tough, as technical, and Mark Briscoe as I'm tenacious, I'm going after you, that gets both of their characters over, and then a timeout is damn, almost got you, and then Mark Briscoe's like, I would have had you, or whatever, and you don't beat Mark Briscoe, and you don't beat Daniel Garcia, but in this, you just beat Mark Briscoe, why? And then you don't get their characters over as much by doing this.
Capitalize at all, bro. Really at all. It was carbon copy of the previous matches. Again, didn't they face each other recently too? If I remember.
Yeah, weren't they in the Continental?
Yeah.
And he beat him there. Mark Briscoe beat him there, and then that's probably what got him this match. New Japan style. I beat you in the tournament. I get a shot at your belt. So he gets the shot at the TNT title, doesn't get it. I understand. It's okay, Daniel Garcia is getting his win back, but now you have nowhere to go from there. Because it's you're 1-1, but it was a clean win versus a clean win.
Right. They could have built a program from that, but they didn't.
Right. It would have been good to like, yeah. And then if, whatever.
Why are we trying to figure this shit out?
Yeah, you guys, look, we're not getting paid by AEW, so we shouldn't be giving you the. We should tell you about the cinematic promo that John Moxley is doing.
Oh God! But have you noticed they have been taking some ideas from our very show, which is bizarre in itself. So I don't believe in coincidences, dude. But it is what it is.
Yep. So Yuta's actually trying to do a promo, and John Moxley's like, "All right, that's enough. You go sit in the back." I want to say my bullshit now. So he basically tells FTR and and Cope that they don't want to go down this road because hell on earth is down this road. That's a quote.
Well, there's Cope. When there's hell, there is some Cope. Apparently.
All right. Next is JEFF. Ha ha. JARR. Ha ha ha. Double T. That's Double J. Jeff Jarrett. Ain't he great? Versus Aaron Solo. And what do we get from this, Jimmy? A strong win. A strong win for Jeff Jarrett. He's beat Aaron Solo, so now he's sure to win that gauntlet match and get a shot at the AEW championship before he retires.
Do you think they will give him that? Do you think they will send him on a high like that? Like, tell a so-called story by Jarrett, being I don't see it, but you never know with his company.
They fumbled it with the Owen Hart tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to fumble it with this.
100%.
I promise.
Yeah. That's a promise you can't keep 100%. It's true. I agree with you, man. I don't see this going anywhere, but we'll see.
All right. So we see Leo Rush and Action Andretti are walking. And then after the break, we get the Koopa Kids versus Private Party for the Tag Team Championships.
Jeez. Cool. What are they called again? The Koopa Kids? Oh, no, because they do look like Koopa Troopers pretty much. So they
got the Bowser jackets.
Oh, that's so... I hate it, bro. I hate that.
It's funny. Like, man. Where would you see those in the real world? Like, do people wear those?
No. Whose idea was it? That's what I want to know.
Well, Leo Rush had the jacket, and then I guess Action Andretti got his own jacket. So I assume Leo Rush, it was his idea.
Leo, the Koopa boys, the Koopa Trooper
kids.
Boys,
the Koopa
kids. That's it.
The Koopalings. It's Leo Koopa and Action Koopa.
Oh, I like it. Remember hanging with Mr. Koopa? The show back in the day.
That's a different Koopa.
That's a different Koopa. We can hang with these two apparently.
Yeah. So the story of this match is Mark Quinn's back. Apparently he's got a fucked up back, and he sells it.
When?
Yeah.
Did this happen?
In the match, like I think they suplexed him on the apron or some shit.
No, but also okay, all right.
Yeah, I think I forget exactly what move and who did it, but like he took a bump on the apron and sold his back, and for a change, he actually kept selling the back to the point that he tried to do certain moves and couldn't do it because of his back. So good for him for trying to do that. I know they did a lot of other bullshit that. He probably ignored that, but at least an attempt was made. I noticed that. Top Flight's out there in the front row eating popcorn watching this, just like the meme.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Private Party does get the win and remain the tag team champions.
Jeez, I hate to say it, and I don't mind Private Party, but boy, do they not feel like tag team champions.
It feels like there's no division.
It feels like this. Yeah, it's perfectly put. That's exactly the word.
Like who, in your mind, you picture Private Party. You're the AEW Tag Team Champions. And now you try to picture some contenders. And this is it. It's the Koopa Kids. They're the contenders. Where is Gates of Agony? Where is, the patriarchy? Where's
the Bucks? Man.
FTR themselves? Like, where is anybody?
Where's House of Black or whatever?
Where are they?
I mean, what happened to the trios championships? Is that even a thing anymore? Because they love their trios.
Yeah, who is the Trios champion?
I think it's the House of Black still.
Yeah, they just took their belts and went home.
Literally, they went home.
That's one way not to lose it, I guess.
Do they even exist anymore? That's what I want to know. Is that even still a thing in AEW? Do the ones in Ring of Honor still exist? Do you know that? The 6-man championships, whatever.
Yeah, isn't it Dustin and the...
Oh, yeah. Wait, no, they're the tag champs. The Ring of Honor tag team champions. I don't even know anymore, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say. At one point, I thought it was Dustin and the Von Erich kids, but
yeah,
maybe they lost it back. I don't know. Doesn't matter. We get a package on Darby Allin saying, "Look how bad Darby Allin got his ass kicked." Remember they threw him down the stairs and everything. That's it. And then
he's got time off.
Yeah. And then Lexi is with Cope, and he starts, talking, and then Chris Jericho walks in, and then it's like, this is one of those things where they probably felt like this was supposed to be a moment. And so, okay, you made a moment. You have Chris Jericho and Edge on the same screen now interacting in this company, which I don't think they'd done before, or at least very limited. And then they said the most cliched whack bullshit ever, that you would think that two guys with a century on the planet and several decades of experience could have come up with something better than this. This was, for those who did not see this was no Punk and Rollins.
Oh, hell
This was
no.
the complete opposite of Punk and Rollins. If Punk and Rollins was like your sit down at the steakhouse, get the full course meal and everything with drinks and all, like this was like, okay, I'm going to stop at the gas station real quick for a ham and cheese and a beef jerky. Like that's what this was. You should not be getting something this bad from guys this experienced. This is shameful. This is shameful. The country of Canada should be ashamed
I'm glad you brought that up.
Of this promo segment.
Canadians. They're definitely not the cult of personalities. I'm just kidding, Canadians out there. To all our Canadian listeners.
I want to get Chris back on this show and ask him what the fuck he thought of this. Just that. You think he would answer the phone if we said, "Can you drop in for 5 minutes and tell me?" We'll even give you time to watch it if you haven't watched it.
He's been freaking totally ignoring me, so
all right. Well,
I've tried.
Maybe I got a shot, but I'm not going to bother him because it's not worth it. I don't want to make him sadder and make him watch this shit. So let's talk about Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo. Again, but this time it's different because this Tony doesn't remember their friendship and all the history and the tattoos and the whatnot and the snavits and the gimmick.
The snavits, yeah.
And because she is confused about this whole thing, she gets the Storm Cradle, the deadliest finish since Daniel Garcia's jackknife pin.
I'm loving this Toni Storm though. I'm not gonna lie. She's entertaining me, dude. She's one of the very few right now. And see, look, I'm not saying bad things about my homegrown talent. She's just enjoyable to see. I find it funny that she doesn't even remember her close best friend and how they got matching tattoos and all that. And Deonna Purrazzo, Jesus Christ, she's so done and dusted in this company. Eek. Like that's all I'm going to say. She's just nothing in this company, bro. Like now that there's no Rampage, there's nothing for her really to do anymore, dude.
I can't argue. I don't have one ounce of retort for that.
The virtuoso, huh? Yeah.
I mean, what do you want though? Like, it's nothing she can do. Nobody's doing anything, top to bottom.
To bottom, nada.
So last Wednesday, they show Paige and Daniels arguing, but I guess last Wednesday, wouldn't this have been after the part where Chris Daniels went out to the ring to stop Hangman Page from beating up Orange Cassidy, and then Hangman Page attacked Christopher Daniels? So then after that,
Yeah.
Chris Daniels goes back to him and tries to reason with him, talking with him after he's already been attacked. And then and then as they're arguing, and then Hangman Page cuts a promo on him saying like, "You're embarrassing. You should have hung it up 5 years ago." All the blah, 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 and then slaps the shit out of Christopher Daniels. Well, that's too much. Christopher Daniels attacks him like a Wolverine, and just not a Swolverine, because if it was a Swolverine, he would have done a job. But it was actually a Wolverine, and he's just pounced on Hangman Page and beat the shit out of him for like a few seconds. Forget the time that earlier, like just seconds ago, he kicked your ass. You're mad because he slapped you and said that you were washed up.
Not just that. Doesn't Daniels come across as this weird, obsessed ex-boyfriend?
Yes.
Man, like, what's the problem, dude?
Shit,
he deserved it. He deserved what he got because it's just annoying the shit out of him, dude. It's like, get away from me. You know what I mean? Stop, like coming out. Stop, like getting involved in my bullshit. That's essentially what's been happening. And now, isn't he supposed to be the head of talent relations? Correct?
No, didn't he step down because Kenny Omega's back?
Oh, well,
remember?
Yeah, but that's not the same thing.
Are you talking about as a shoot or on the show or what?
No, I'm talking about as a shoot, not on the show.
Oh,
but...
I don't know. I guess, yeah. Stooge.
Well, yeah, stooge. He's definitely a stooge. Whatever the case, man, just stop. Enough. Again, I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see no freaking program between him and Hangman. And I hope Hangman absolutely puts him in the pasture and just be done with this shit because it's not good for him, that's for sure. And Daniels is just riding those coattails, dude.
Also, by the way, the Acclaimed get TMZ'd and then they argue about that too. So
Ooh,
keep that.
Acclaimed.
Yeah, the Acclaimed.
Let's keep going with this crap. Where's Billy?
Yeah, where is Billy?
Doesn't give a shit. Where's his sons, for that matter? I mean, what happened to them?
Yeah, where are their sons? Like one of his sons got hurt, and they both have to go away.
Yeah, well, AEW logic, bro. This is what they do, man. They do.
That's
this
pro
all the
wrestling
time.
logic.
Yeah, but at least in WWE, they don't tend to usually do that per se. But
Viking Raiders.
Actually, you're right, and same with Yes Boys.
Right.
Not that you need one of them anyway, to be fair. But anyway.
I mean, they should have. Well, at least sometimes they came back with, he had the sling on and stuff, but whatever. Anyways, the point is that we mentioned Brian Cage earlier, and damn it, this is the one where he doesn't do a job because it's a four-way match, a high-speed collision match for where the winner gets $100,000. And in this match is Mr. GMSI himself, the Beast Mortos, Commander,
Ultimate,
and Dante, and randomly Dante Martin. I wonder why Dante Martin's in this.
I wonder.
Yeah, so that the other two guys don't have to get beat. As Brian Cage picks up the win, picks up $100,000 allegedly, and this would probably, if you could count his wins in this company on one hand, I think you still can with this one. Even if you had this one, I think you could still fit some wins. He might be like right at the limit of one hand. You might need another match before you need to count to 6. He's got
bet?
1 win per year in AEW.
But what's the bet they've inflated his win-loss ratio? I bet you he's got more wins than losses, even though that's not true. Don't be surprised.
I think he's one of those guys, they just don't show it.
Well, they don't.
Because it would be bad if he did.
Again, I'm going to ask though, Vip, before we move on, do wins and losses actually matter in this company, like they claim?
They do, but the numbers graphics don't.
And that just depends, right? That's when they show the graphics. It all depends on the situation, right? This company, man. So there's something else. Anyway.
Yep. All right. But he's $100,000 richer. And then we get FTR and RNR and Out R all meeting up together.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Is it
and
just
we get
me?
the big We get the big Predator, you son of a bitch hand clasp with the Rock and Roll Express and the Outrunners, and
oh my god,
good.
why? I don't like it. Doesn't look right with them though. But whatever. Oh, you're talking about with the what's it called? Sorry, I'll take that back because it was our boys that did it. For a minute, I thought you were saying, and I saw this. For some reason, I pictured Edge doing it to the Rock and Roll, but it wasn't. It was
no, those guys are up next. They are.
Right.
We are getting our main event because it wouldn't be a Collision without a either a 6 or an 8-man main event.
Again, they do this to me, man. Is this a rib on me? Like I keep saying,
it might be. It might be.
And
every once in a while they decide to switch the rib, put it on me, and make Daniel Garcia in the main event.
Right, it's either
Daniel Garcia or a trios or a 8, all-star 8.
Please. Oh man.
So yeah, this is the Tree versus the Copes.
Jeez,
and
all down.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say this: Cope, right? Yeah. Apparently, he learned nothing from his, the dumbest thing anyone's ever done, jumping off the cage or whatever and trying to land on your feet because you're a moron. Like he didn't learn nothing from that, and all his time off sitting there with a broken leg, because in this match he did a top rope elbow drop, which no one needed, and
he never does it, mind you.
He never does. That's not one of his moves. And he I know this guy. I know he just did it just to do it, just so he could say like I actually hit a top rope elbow once in my life without breaking my leg. So I'm going to do it. I know that's why he did it. I know it. And he also did a top rope dive to the outside, which he also doesn't do. But again, he's like, no, fuck it. I'm going to I'll show you my own ankle. I'm going to do it.
You'll see.
He did it. Apparently he's not injured, but
well, that's a shame.
He tempted it. He definitely tried.
Dude, I was in and out of this match again because once I saw what the main event was, I can't just. These matches kill me, bro. Like, and he's obviously killing himself. Yeah. And how condescending is this guy? Is it just me, or is he extremely condescending in AEW, bro?
He kind of is, but even though his thing with Jericho, like he tried to put him over for some reason.
Whatever. It's not working. It's not. Whatever the case.
But he does hit the spear on Jericho to win. So is he in line for a Ring of Honor World Championship match?
Yes, probably. More than likely. Can you imagine that?
He's going to come out and do a promo like talking about how much he always loved Ring of Honor and, back in 2002 when he was wrestling against Kurt Angle and stuff, he always wished he was in Ring of Honor, like starting with those guys. Like he's going to he's going to do a promo like that. And then he's going to try to sell it. And then he's just going to be on another Ring of Honor show that nobody buys.
That nobody buys. As a matter of fact, I'll go one further, Vet. He's going to call it the Rated ROH Championship. That's what it's going to be. 100%.
Oh, yeah. What a layup.
What a layup. Yeah. Is that money or what, dude? Come on. Seriously.
It is that. Yeah, it's like definitely it's like $6 or $7 Australian. But here's the real thing about this. Who cares about the match, right? Because what really is important is that Moxley once again has committed a crime on television. He has tied up the Rock and Roll Express to something, bookshelves. I don't know.
You tell me.
He's tied them up, and he's going to I guess kill him. I don't know. Like I assume, but luckily the Outrunners who weren't booked had plenty of time to run over there and stop him, and and then the Copes run from the ring to the back. They all three run back there, so the Death Riders skedaddle, and the Rock and Roll Express. Yeah, they are unharmed. They are saved. No harm has come to them. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Yeah. Mwah. Chef's kiss my ass. I'm just saying.
Yes, with our a la carte, with our a la carte analogy, it's like this is not a chef's kiss. It's more like a chef is gonna get dragged in the back and beaten up like fucking Christopher Daniels.
Oh god, this Collision was pretty bad, dude. I didn't like Dynamite either, and I was kind of into Dynamite the past few weeks, kind of. But just I felt like both of these shows were freaking just like crap for me. But I do want to ask you, Vet, before we do end it. Chef's grandma's kiss. Yeah. Actually, Chef's grandma's kiss is probably better than a chef.
Right. But she probably knows how to cook, and she's just
exactly
too tired to do it now.
It's more like I don't know. But anyway, remember how we were talking about the perception and then moving into smaller arenas? Well, now that they have, I won't say small, I'll say medium, because it's around the medium range.
Right.
Do you think it looks good, in your opinion, on television, or it looks too small for them, perception-wise?
This one looked a little small in certain shots.
Yeah.
But it also it didn't look as bad as when they were in the esports thing in Texas.
Oh, that was bad.
That looked really small.
That was bad.
That looked like this is why they'd rather, tarp out an NBA arena and at least look like it's a good building than be in a warehouse where you can hear each individual fan heckling them, like
right.
It's the appearance is everything. So if you want to look like, if you want to look like you're big time, there has to be a good middle ground. You got to, you don't want to, I mean, the hope is that you would always be able to sell 15,000 tickets, right? But
well, yeah,
realistically, it's kind of hard to do. Especially because I gave my list of reasons of why AEW is struggling, and none of the reasons that I have are the same ones that all the marks and stuff keep saying. Right. Because the number one reason, if you remember, the number one reason that AEW struggles is because they are not WWE. That's the number one reason that every other wrestling company struggles. And this is another reason why, is because in these economic times, when everything is more expensive, including the WWE, and taking people to go see a wrestling show costs more than it ever has.
Ridiculous, man.
When WWE comes to your town, if you save up enough money to go see that, that's the one you want to see, and that's good enough for you. So when AEW comes back around, you'll be like, well, I saw Raw a few months ago, so I'm good. Like I'm good on that. I don't need to go. Even though AEW tickets are pretty cheap, you still already, it doesn't matter if they're cheap. You didn't really want it. You know what I mean? Like you would have gone, but no, I saw a good wrestling show. I'll sit this one out or whatever.
Well, dude.
So AEW is not going to get hot to that degree. Even if they pick up business, it's not going to be like that. So they're kind of better off in these mid arenas here. But they have to make sure that their level of production is able to still make the show look big time. Because otherwise they're basically they're like the next step above TNA, which looks like ass.
Right now, it's true. It's just a step up from TNA, and it's sad, to be honest. As a matter of fact, people say, like, if you remember, before we go, I just want to say one more thing. Do you remember 2019 AEW? At least, with their production during that time, it looked a bit more gritty. It didn't have that WWE feel. Now, it's still, I feel like they're trying to be WWE, even with their production. Because even the guy that they hired, I believe, was in WWE. The guy that's doing AEW right now was meant to take over from Dunn. But that didn't happen for whatever reason, and here we are. He's in AEW, and I think that's a bad thing, dude. I think they should just go with their own style back like they did in 2019, where it felt different. right now it just feels like a cheap knockoff. And that's not a good thing. You know what I mean?
It is. Well, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's a great point as far as that guy is coming in. So what's he going to do? He's going to do what he always knew. And if what he knew was WWE, he's going to try to make AEW to WWE, just like, Keith Mitchell was going to make it into, WCW or TNA or whatever, or just like whatever, or just like you're going to try to make Jamie Hayter into Becky Lynch or Chris Statlander into Rhea Ripley. Like you just have to have a little more faith in yourself, but I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying I could do it. I'm just saying that these are, their biggest challenge is just not being WWE. There are other challenges, but that is the biggest one right now. That's the show everybody wants to watch. And there's only so much room in everybody's life for pro wrestling. Even WWE, you're talking about 7 to 8 hours a week. So who even that loves WWE really wants to watch every minute of it?
I hate that, dude.
But now we're going to watch WWE and AEW.
It's fucked.
It's a tough ask.
It's a very tough
ask, and everybody's only getting more busy, or at least they're under the impression that they're more busy. There's more, you got to spend more time at work because everything's more expensive. So you got to make more money or work more overtime. You got to, when you are at home, maybe you don't want to watch WWE. Maybe you want to watch a good TV show. Maybe you want to watch some good dramas or some good comedies or something. Maybe you want to play some video games. Maybe you want to go out and do something else, like outside the house. Like,
yeah, maybe
you don't want to go to a WWE or AEW show. Maybe you want to go out and eat like once, like maybe there's lots of things that are on your mind besides wrestling, even if you like wrestling, like even if you're a fan, you can't do it all. So it's an oversaturation. And the networks and the streaming services want content, but can they guarantee anybody's going to watch it just because you have it? I don't know.
Great point.
And then here's the other thing. So AEW right now, not the hottest, right? Let's say they turn it around and it gets hot. So like, let's say you and I are reviewing the show and we're liking it more. Is anybody else watching it to know that?
Good point. But
like it might take a while before the word of mouth gets it, or it's the tree falls in the forest thing. So I don't know. Nothing's ever really just that simple, but we're still going to be here every week and we're still going to tell you. We'll be the ones to tell you if they do start turning it around, I guess.
I hope they do for all of our sake, but we'll see. We shall very much see. In saying that, Vet, I think we can take it home now, man. This was a great show, just quietly. But what have you got going and what are you doing, man? And yeah, tell everyone what you're doing.
Well, same thing I'm always doing. You can find me at Opinion Haver on all social media platforms. Thank you, those of you that do. You can check me out on HMG with the Impact Attack, where I can tell you how bad TNA is with my partner Brandon. Every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. You could check me out on the Next Level Wrestling Review with Big Ray Hernandez, back at our normal time of Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We were on Thursday the past 2 weeks because of holiday reasons, mostly Big Ray. I would have done the shows, but whatever, doesn't matter. Check us out there. We'll tell you how bad NXT sucks, and it really did suck this week. You could if you want to check out some sort of tangentially related to me content, you could check out, as I'm a Rip Rogers guy, you could check out Rip Rogers himself every Friday at their concrete time of, I think it's 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, as long as they're not off for the holidays, but they were back this past Friday, so go check them out. And if you're live, you can ask them a bunch of questions, and hey, he might even answer it. And if you super chat him, he'll definitely answer it. So consider that. And of course, consider Stevie Richards, probably the best wrestling related content show out there. Maybe I'm the best in the world, but Stevie may have the best show in the world. So, maybe one day these two things should come together. I don't know. But maybe I'm not over enough for that. Anyways, definitely check out Stevie Richards' show because it's always an interesting, different set of content than what everybody else I think is putting out there, including us. So I definitely would recommend Stevie Richards' show to everybody. And that's it for me. What about you, Jimmy?
Well, for me, this Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, it is the I Like a Raw debut of Raw on Netflix review show this coming Tuesday morning with myself and Big Ray Hernandez, where we break down the Raw on Netflix. I'm looking forward to that, personally. I just don't like their dealio with what they're doing, unfortunately. But in saying that, that's what I've got. Also, Smack Attack will be back this week with an all-new edition of the Smack Attack. Because, as everybody knows, John is, unfortunately going bye-bye. But I'll surprise y'all with who the co-host will be. I still don't even know yet, but we'll find out, man. So all that, and plus, obviously, the Wreckage every Sunday mornings right here on Hamid's YouTube channel and, of course, on Channel Attitude After the Fact. But, that's about it from me. And Twitter, you suck. So you can follow me at DJ Matt's Effects. Oh. But I can't get in to my account because of these idiots. Thank you, Elon Musk. How do you lock me out when I've changed? I keep telling him this and they keep responding the same fucking way. There's nothing I can do. That number is disconnected. I can't verify that it's me. I don't know what to do. It's really pissing me off, bro. I don't know what to do. I can't. So if you guys are tagging me, and I know a few of you guys have, I can't respond. I can't do shit. I can't even promote my damn shows. It is what it is. Unfortunately, screw you, Elon. So please do us a favor and help us promote the shows on there when I can't really do much because my hands are tied. Vet, what do I do, bro? What do I do to convince these idiots? I just don't know, man.
I really don't know. Something similar, not exactly the same, but similar happened to me with Facebook, which is why I'm not on there anymore. I mean, I got locked out because somebody hacked it for some strange reason. And, with that two-step verification turned on, like now I can't re-verify my own thing. And the thing about companies like, Meta, Facebook, like all that, like they have no customer service. They don't give a shit. You realize how many emails they would get? They would get like a trillion emails a day if they had a customer service thing. So there's no way they can help you. And I assume Twitter's the same way. Elon's too busy building, cyber trucks to help you with your password recovery.
Yeah, well, and Revamp says make a new account. Why should I, man? It was hard for me to get over 1,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? Now just trying to build all that. Plus, I had John Cena following me. I had quite a few people following me, like, they were wrestlers and whatnot. And now, you're not going to get the same shit. It's disheartening, you know what I mean? It is what it is. It sucks, but what do you do? I don't know what to do. I'm going to try my hardest. But I keep doing it. They keep giving me the same answers. It's like a bot is replying to me, so...
They probably are. It's Grok. Grok is replying to you.
It's probably his Grok. I like Grok too, man, unfortunately. But anyways, so there's that. And that's it. So in saying that, Happy New Year once again from all of us here at HMG and channelattitude.com. But it's a wrap. I am Jimmy T. That is my co-host, the vet Jamie Williams, and you've been listening and watching the Sunday morning
The Wreckage
right here on Nami Media Group YouTube channel and Channel Attitude After the Fact. And we're out. Peace.